Typos are the literal bane of my existence when it comes to Google Sheets. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Hi, my name is Brooke, and on this channel, I like to talk about personal finances, make lifestyle vlogs, and just share my life with you all. So if you like that kind of content, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Today, I'm going to be showing you a little tutorial and talking through something that is kind of important in the world of personal finances and something that I really struggle with as well, and that is keeping my subscriptions in check. Now, I have seen people's subscriptions be as low as $15 a month to over $400 a month, and that is a huge wide range. And one of the things that I really believe in is that you should spend your money on things that bring you joy and things that, you really want to invest in. And so for me, that's why I like to, really rein in my subscriptions and really be mindful about the ones that I have. And so one thing that you can do to help you with that is do a periodic audit, maybe once a year. And I want to just kind of show you how you can do this for free. I know there are services out there like Rocket Money that will go through and look at all your subscriptions and cancel them for you, but that service is paid. And that is something that I think it's kind of funny because they're like helping you quit your other subscriptions, but then you have a subscription to Rocket Money. So it's kind of funny that way. But in this video, I want to show you how you can do that for yourself. And if you budget each month, you should probably know what your different subscriptions are. But if you haven't, that's okay too. It's easy to start from scratch. It will take a little bit of setup in the beginning, but once you get it going, then you'll be able to really go from there. So without further ado, let's go over to my subscription spreadsheet, and we will see what I subscribe to. And then I'll also go over some practical tips on how you can set up your subscription spreadsheet so you can audit your own subscriptions. So if you see me looking in that direction, that's because this is where my computer is. So I'll be looking at my computer screen. But let's go over what we kind of see here. So here I have the list view of all my subscriptions. I have the subscription name. I have the type, so monthly, annually, semi-annually, quarterly. That's kind of the information that you need to know in order for you to really evaluate how much you're spending on everything. So that's really important. And then I have cost. I also have the renewal date. And then I have a little section for notes. If you have any notes about things, maybe you're doing a free trial or something and you're saying, oh, this free trial is going to end during this date, so I need to make sure that I cancel it before I get roped into it. So that is kind of what you can use this note section for. So now let's go through what my subscriptions look like. So I have HP Instant Ink. It is actually $192. They raised it. Ugh, it sucks. But I mean, it's so silly. I have to pay to use my printer. And I mean, I've had this printer for I don't know, at this point, almost 8 years. It cost money to keep it running because it's I tried to cancel it. And then I got an email that said, you're not on our subscription plan anymore from HP. And they're like, nah, so we've locked you out of your printer. And I'm like, this is the part of the internet that sucks, is that they can tell if you're not paying their stupid $2 fee to use a printer. And I don't even print that much anymore. So that's that. Spotify, I pay for the family Spotify so that my siblings and my husband and I, we all share the same Spotify. We have Libro FM for my husband. He really enjoys audiobooks. He listens to them while he's working or driving to work and stuff like that. So this is what we actually got him after we canceled Audible. And Libro FM is a really great subscription service because part of your money that you send to Libro FM goes to support small book retailers in your area, so you get to pick. And so I really like that giving back model to physical small bookstores in our area. I really like to support local, so I like that because he really likes audiobooks. And there's not really an easy way to buy audiobooks other than on Audible, so Libro FM is a really great service. We also have Apple iCloud because we have a lot of storage, and honestly, I don't mind paying this $9.99 because it really saved my butt when when my phone got stolen last year when I was in Paris. And we have the 2 terabyte plan, and I don't even think we're even close to like 1 terabyte. So, paying $9.99 for that peace of mind, knowing that if I get my phone stolen again, which I hope I do not get my phone stolen again, I can just like go and download all my stuff like immediately from the cloud. So that is why I'm fine with paying for that. Also pay for Netflix because of the whole like, oh yeah, you can't share Netflix passwords. So whatever, it's fine. We have the one with ads, and I'm fine with the ads. Like, it's not too bad. We pay for HBO Max annually, and part of the reason why I paid for it annually is because usually around the time that it's due in December, I can usually find like a deal on my Chase app so that I can get extra cash back from it for my credit card. So that's what I noted there in the notes, is like could be less if there's discounts, but I just pay for that annually. And then these are our 2 credit card fees for Chase Sapphire Reserve and Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, if you know anything about the credit card world this year, like the credit card world has really upped their pricing when it comes to their annual fees. And they say it's because, oh, you get so many great like perks and values and stuff like that. And I've like read through, they sent me like this packet in the mail that told me about all of the new features. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to benefit from half of them. But my subscription renewed at the beginning of this month, and the new stuff goes into effect at the end of this month. So I think that I am going to have the first year at the old rate of $550, which I know is still crazy, but I thought it was worth it. So we're going to see how that goes. So, and then the Chase Sapphire Preferred is like their lower tier card, their introductory travel card, and that one has a $95 fee. I don't know why we got them as own. Oh, it was because we were reaching a bonus. They had a big bonus on the CSP. So I was like, you should get that bonus, because then when you like live with somebody and you both have Chase cards, you can combine your points together. So that was like the reason we wanted to get that bonus. And so we did that. Another annual subscription that we have is Crunchyroll. So my husband and I really like anime, and we pay for this yearly, so we don't have to worry about it. And then Lavalier Insurance, this is our ring insurance, and this is just $92 to cover my engagement ring and our wedding bands. We also have AAA, which in the US is a service that if you're like road tripping or anything like that, if you break down on the side of the road, you can call AAA and they will come and do what you need to do. So that's just a peace of mind thing when I'm driving, especially because to get to my parents' house is a 3 to 4 hour drive. So it's really good to know that if we break down, like trying to go to my parents' house, we can call AAA. Progressive is our car insurance. So car insurance is something that I pay for on a semi-annually basis, which means I pay for it twice a year. So every 6 months, my premium comes up, and this is just for 2 cars, and it's $768.28 every 6 months. And I think that's fairly reasonable, because I know that some people spend a lot more. So I'm okay with it. I don't think I'm going to shop around yet. But if it were to like go more expensive than this, I would probably shop around and see what other places could give me good deals. Last one is our Capital One Venture fee. So this is a new credit card that I opened up this year for the bonus. And this one also has the same fee as the CSP, because it's kind of on that same level as the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So it's $95. And then we have our Planet Fitness monthly fee. We pay $15 a month. And then with Planet Fitness, you also have an annual fee that you have to pay for $39. And that's just like an annual fee that comes out in September. So those are all of my subscriptions. I feel like I have pared it down as much as possible. So now let's look at how I automated this so that it would take all of these numbers here and then break it down for me, like how much I'm spending annually, monthly, and semi-monthly, and semi-annually. So let's look at that. I'm gonna move my face so that you can actually see it. Over here, we have the list of subscriptions, and this kind of just tells us our total. So it's broken down by subscription type, the cost, and the yearly percent. So for our monthlies, it's about $88 for all of our monthly expenses. And then for our semi-annually, this is obviously $768 every 6 months. And then quarterly, we don't have any quarterly, so that's why that's 0. And then annually, our subscriptions annually are about $1,276, which does seem really high. But again, this includes our really expensive fees for our credit cards. But then it just kind of shows you the breakdown of how much percentage yearly out of the total. And so we spend about 27% on our monthlies, 39% goes to our semi-annually. So obviously our car insurance is the most expensive subscription that we have. And then our annuals come out to 32%, almost 33%. And then I also have it broken down here. So this is the total estimated biannual spend. So this is $1,500. So total for our insurance, our car insurance, we spend $1,500. And then for our total annual spend here, like we saw that up there. And then this is the total estimated monthly spend. So I calculated that by taking this cost and multiplying it by 12. And that's how I get $1,057. And then I also have a pie chart because I am a pie chart fan. And this just breaks down and shows you those same numbers that I showed up there. So that is how I have set up my subscription tracker. But let me talk you through what I think is the most fun part of this, which is how did I automate it so that when I made a categorization, it would automatically update. So let's say I were to get a new subscription tomorrow. Let's say we got Hulu back or whatever. And Hulu is going to be a monthly one. And then we would say that Hulu is like, I think it's like $11 now. It's kind of expensive, which is why I don't have it. And so then, you'd be like, oh, it came on the first of the month or whatever. So now you can see that our total estimated monthly spend updated. And I didn't have to change anything because I've written in some automations, some formulas inside of my Google Sheets that allows it to do the math for me. And so now you can see instead of that being the 8810, it's the 9910. And then of course, if I remove that, then it will just go ahead and bring that back down. So that is a fun thing that I like about the subscription tracking. And it's actually really easy to set up. So I'm going to actually go ahead and open up a brand new tab on my spreadsheet so that I can show you how that works. So let's go ahead and just add a quick sheet, and then we'll just say, the name of sub, and then we'll say the price, and then we're gonna say the type. Let's say our type. So this is where I like to use drop down, so it's easy to do that. So you just insert a drop down, and then you can just choose what it is. You can make your own criteria, or you can choose it from like a certain range. So I want this to be in that entire C column. So if I don't put a number after the C, it'll just automatically be in the entire C column. So let's just say C2 to C so that it won't be at the top. Obviously, we don't need it in cell 1 of C. And then the criteria will just be a drop down, and our options are going to be annual or monthly or semi-annually, and then last but not least, quarterly. And you can change the colors of these, but for this demonstration, I'm just going to keep them the same color. And now what we need to do is we need to start totaling things up. So we're going to have we're going to say yearly total and monthly total and semi-annual total, and last but not least, the quarterly total. Now, this does not look beautiful. You can make it as beautiful as you want. Like, I obviously like a very neutral palette. You can obviously do whatever colors you want. But this is just kind of showing you like how to like do this really quickly. So I'm just gonna do this. And so then, we have our Netflix, and that's gonna be $9.99. And then that's a monthly fee. And then we also have, HP Instant Ink. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you to add these in yourself. And if you don't know like what your things are, so one of the best ways to get this information really easily is by going to your banking website, and you can download all of your transactions from whatever card you're using. If you're using your debit card, if you're using a credit card, you can download all of that data of your transactions over a certain period. So for subscriptions, I would say that you probably want to do like an annual one where you download a year's worth of data. So then you can go through that and see. And then once you do that, you can actually import your data into a Google Sheets like this. And then you can go through and just search for like things that you know that you have subscriptions of. I will say the only caveat with that is that some subscriptions are super sneaky, especially if you have them through certain services. Like, let's say you have a Roku TV and you subscribe through Roku, which you can do. I would not recommend that. I recommend going straight through the thing. But I used to be subscribed to HBO through my Roku account. And on my statement, it would always just show up as Roku and then that price. And so it kind of obscures like what you're actually paying for. Apple is also really bad about doing this. If you have subscriptions for your phone, whenever you get any like bill from Apple, it'll just say apple.com bill. That'll all it say. And it's so silly. So you have to actually go into your account, your iPhone account, and then look through to the subscription section, and then it'll have a list of all of your subscriptions and how much they cost and what cadence they're on, monthly, yearly, whatever. But if you just see like a bunch of Apple line items, it may be you're buying music, you're buying something for like a phone app, or it could be a subscription. You don't know. So that's why I like disambiguating things, so I know, just so I can also be very mindful of what I have coming in and out. Let's just go ahead and add in like car insurance so that we can kind of see how this works. Because once you know how to use this one formula, you can use it everywhere in your Google Sheets. It's probably one of my favorite formulas in all of Google Sheets. But let's say that your car insurance is $750 every 2 months, every 6 months, not 2 months. Every 2 months would be crazy. $750 every 2 months. You definitely need to be changing your car insurance if it's that expensive. Then let's go ahead and format all of this as currency. And then let's just throw in an annual one for fun. So HBO Max, we'll throw that in for $190, and that will be an annual one. Okay, so then over here in our totals, what we're going to do is we're going to use the sum if formula. So basically a sum if formula is basically saying if a cell has this particular thing, it has this word or whatever, you can say whatever it needs to be. If this cell equals that, then I want you to take this number in a different cell and I want you to add them together. So that's basically all it does. And I use this everywhere on my Google Sheets. So it just is every time you do a formula in Google Sheets, you always start with an equal sign and then you do sum if, and this gives you like it already. And then the first thing that you need to do is you need to tell it what cell you're trying to match to, what column of data you're looking at. So we're trying to find the type. So we're going to go C2 to C. That's going to be our range. That'll go all the way down to the bottom. And then the second thing we need to tell it is what is it actually going to be looking for inside of the type. So this one is our yearly total. So we're going to look for the word annual. And then the last thing it needs to know is like, what numbers do I need to add together? And so this is going to be our price column. So then we just say B2 to B, and voila. Now that goes ahead and adds it all together for us. So if we were to add in another yearly subscription, like we said, Crunchyroll, we pay yearly, we add that, and then we just choose the annual one. Now the yearly total is already added up. And the reason why I like to make sure that it is a drop down for the type is because if you have a typo, it will not work. Typos are the literal bane of my existence when it comes to Google Sheets because it has to be exactly what it says in order to work. So that's why I like a drop down, so you don't have to remember, or maybe you have a typo that day, you don't have to worry, you can just pick it from a list. And then you can just go through and do it with all the other ones as well. So this one will be the same, and then, we're just looking for the word monthly here, and B2 to B. Not L. Oh my gosh, that'd be too much. And then honestly, you can just take this, copy it, put it in there. And then instead of it being monthly, you just change it to what you need it to be. So this is semi-annual Or maybe it's semi-annually. See, that's why I'm telling you, you have to be careful about how do you spell things. Semi-annually. And again, we want to make that a value of money. And then last but not least, we will add that here. And this is our quarterly, and there should be none because we don't have any that are quarterly. But if we added, like, let's say you get lawn service each quarter, and lawn service is $75, and that happens quarterly. Oh, see, that didn't work because I spelled quarterly with 2 R's. So if we fix that, then you will see the magic at work. And we're going to say apply to all when we change that. And now it will say it's invalid because it has the old one, but voila! Now you have everything good to go. You learned how to use the sum if function, and you can create your own subscription tracking sheet. Thank you so much for watching this little tutorial video and talking through how you can make one of your own. Again, you don't need to pay for something like Rocket Money in order to do this for you. You can just use a free Google Sheet. It will take a little bit of effort, but once you've written that sum if formula once, you just have to go ahead and copy it over and then just change what value you're looking for, and voila, you are good to go. So I really appreciate you all getting to the end. If you did, comment down below spreadsheet so that I know that you are also a spreadsheet junkie like I am. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.